Welcome to the channel. I want to preview US against Mexico. US has some amazing key players along with Mexico. And let's talk about the game, how they are going to be coming in, how have they played the last couple games. They both got new coaches. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be in Mexico. It's going to be in Guadalajara. There's going to be a retirement ceremony for Andres Guardado. Let's see what happens with this game. The U.S. just beat Panama 2-0 with goals by Yunus Musa and Ricardo Pepi. Ricardo Pepi always comes in clutch at the end. He's a player you don't want to get rid of. It's hard to start him because he's providing goals off the bench. And Christian Pulisic continues his hot streak of just scoring and assisting here in AC Milan and with the U.S. national team. The U.S. had 11 shots to Panama's 13, 4 on goal with Panama. The U.S. ball possession was 55 to Panama's 45. Okay, so along with these guys that you see on here, Marlon Fossey, Ricardo Pepi, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic, and Sexteffen are out for the national game against Mexico. Before these, I made a lineup of all the players missing for the U.S. team that were not called up. Gio Reyna, Florian Balogun, Timothy Weah, Johnny Cardoso, Luca de la Torre, Tyler Adams, Kevin Paredes, John Anthony Brooks, Richards, Sergino Dest, and Slonina. That's a good lineup not being fielded. Now you add those 5 guys that I just named earlier, and that team lineup is going to change. Now, I'm not Pochettino, so I don't know what he's going to line up, but this is the closest thing that we can probably think of and put together. So this is the new starting lineup. I am not Pochettino, so I'm not 100% sure, but this is the closest thing I could come up with. You've got Brandon Aronson, Brandon Vasquez, Josh Sargent, Malik Tillman, Tanner Tasman, Yunus Musa, Anthony Robinson, Miles Robinson, Tim Ream, Joe Scally, and Matt Turner. Now the question is, can that team beat Mexico? And yes, they can beat Mexico. Mexico is not good right now. Pochettino's more structured. It's not just throwing the ball forward aggression. It's more organized, right? And if you can organize this team, defend well at the back, and they can counterattack Mexico, then they can literally beat Mexico. They got a strong guy like Brandon Vasquez, who's going to have Johan Vasquez and Cesar Montes in front of him. He can probably outpower them. And the U.S. can do damage just with the counterattack. Mexico just got done tying Valencia, who is last place in La Liga. Along with that, they had 2 to 5 starters playing in that game, and a bunch of guys that are not even on the roster and transfer market. Mexico's goals came from Jose Herrera, Alexis Vega, and for Valencia, Dani Gomez scored 2 goals. I gotta say, man, he's a good player. Just like the U.S. is missing a great base of their players, so is Mexico. Mexico's missing Santi Jimenez, Henry Martin, Luis Quiñones, Eric Sanchez, Luis Chavez, Hervin Lozano, Jesus Gallardo, Israel Reyes, Victor El Toro Guzman, Julian Araujo, and Julio Gonzalez. This team on here can literally play the national team that Mexico is going to put out there against the U.S. and probably beat them. So it's not just the U.S. missing players, so is Mexico. Probably missing their second best goalkeeper, who's just as good as Malagon. Let's talk about the national coach, Javier Aguirre. He's all about aggression. Who's got the biggest balls? Let's go out there and fight for every single ball. Do not let them push us around and bomb the ball forward. That's all he does. I'm not playing. I'm not kidding. I don't think it was a good idea for them to hire Javier Aguirre, but it's too late, right? I do think Mexico have the advantage based on the players they're going to put on the field. I'm about to show you them. But it's going to be 2 coaches that are big on going forward, going forward, going forward, going forward, going forward, and not too much organized defensively. This really stinks because I don't know what Javier Aguirre is going to put out there. And I made up 3 lineups, okay? Bear with me here. The first one has Raúl Jiménez and Berterame. And Chino Huerta, Alexis Vega on the wings, along with Romo and Alvarez in the middle. Gonzalez, Vasquez, Montes, Sanchez, and Malagón at goal. I would prefer this lineup against the US. Or he's going to put Alexis Vega and Chino Huerta on the sides of Raúl Jiménez, Pineda, Alvarez, and Romo in the middle. Angulo, Vasquez, Montes, Sanchez, and Ochoa. And the more I look at this, the more I feel like this is probably going to be the lineup that he's going to throw out there. And lastly, we have Berterame, Jimenez, Ruiz, Romo, Alvarez, Alvarado, Angulo, Vasquez, Montes, Sanchez, and Malagón. Marcelo Ruiz can provide defensive and offensive work along like Romo, and Alvarez can stay in the back defensively. And Alvarado can create opportunities up front for these two guys, Berterame and Raúl Jiménez. So, what's our prediction? What's our prediction? And I think that's going to be Mexico 1-0 because of all the U.S. players that are not here. Mexico's at home. The fans are going crazy. Mexico needs to win. They need to beat the U.S. desperately because they're losing a lot of money. So, I think Javier Aguirre has to go out there with the best that he has. And they're not good. They're not good at creating plays. Cordova and Alvarado are our best playmakers, and Cordova is not in shape. He doesn't start for Tigres. And Alvarado has not played for Mexico like he does for Chivas at all. But that's my prediction. What do you guys think?